The big room fell silent as Tae-min Kim walked in. He was tall, even for a human, standing just over 2 meters. His black uniform was simple but neat, with only a small earth patch on the shoulder. The aliens watching him felt a mix of fear and wonder. Humans were strange creatures from a world most aliens could not even visit. Earth was what the Galactic Council called a Class 12 death world. This meant it was one of the most dangerous planets known. High gravity, extreme weather, deadly animals, and poisonous plants made Earth a nightmare for most aliens. Yet humans had not only survived there, they had built great cities and reached for the stars. Tae-min took his seat at the large round table. Beside him sat Dr. Ji-young Park, a woman with short black hair and quick, clever eyes. She was Earth's top expert on alien biology. On Tae-min's other side was Hanbin Lee, head of security. Hanbin looked relaxed, but his eyes missed nothing. "The Council recognizes Earth's delegation," said Counselor Ziv, a small blue alien whose skin looked like it might tear if touched too roughly. "Commander Kim, we welcome you once again." Tae-min smiled and bowed his head slightly. "Thank you, Counselor. Earth is honored to be part of this great gathering of worlds." This was not true, but Tae-min was good at his job. For 15 years, he had been humanity's main speaker to the stars. For 15 years, he had smiled and bowed and spoken softly while the Council made rules that held humans back. Today's meeting was about new rules. The Viridian Empire, a group of worlds led by tall, thin aliens with pale skin that showed their blue veins, wanted more limits on humans. "Humans are expanding too quickly," said the Viridian speaker, Supreme Commander Vrax. His voice came through the translator with a metallic edge. "They take too many resources. Their ships go too far. And most concerning, they bring their death world biology to clean worlds." Ji-young leaned close to Tae-min. "He makes it sound like we have a disease," she whispered. Tae-min nodded slightly, but kept his face calm. This was nothing new. Since humans had first met aliens 50 years ago, they had faced fear and limits. The aliens were amazed that humans could live through things that would kill most species. They were scared of human strength, endurance, and ability to survive. "The Viridian Empire proposes the following," Vrax continued. "First, human ships must stay at least 5 light years from any Viridian world. Second, human trade must go through our screening stations. Third, no human may visit a Viridian world without special permission and full biological containment." Hanbin's hand tightened on the table edge. Tae-min saw the wood crack slightly under his grip and gave Hanbin a warning look. "We understand your concerns," Tae-min said, his voice still gentle. "But these rules would hurt trade and friendship between our peoples. Perhaps we could find a middle path that works for everyone." What Tae-min didn't say was what he really thought. That the Viridians were being unfair, that humans had proven themselves peaceful, that Earth was tired of being treated like a dangerous child. The truth was, humanity had been playing a careful game for decades. They showed themselves as friendly, helpful, and careful not to scare anyone. They hid their best technology. They didn't talk about how strong they really were. They let the Council think humans were just tough survivors, not a species that could change the balance of power in the galaxy. After the meeting, Tae-min, Ji-young, and Hanbin walked back to the Earth Embassy on the space station. The artificial gravity was set lower than Earth normal, making their steps light and bouncy. "Another day, another insult," Hanbin said once they were alone. "How long do we keep taking this?" Tae-min looked tired. "As long as we need to. Earth is still young in galactic politics. We need friends, not enemies." Ji-young touched a panel on the wall, and a screen showed Earth, blue and beautiful. "I sometimes wonder if the Council knows more than they let on. If they sense what we're capable of." "They know we're strong," Tae-min said. "They know we can take more damage, survive worse conditions, and keep going when most species would die. What they don't know is how far we've come with technology and science." This was the real secret. While Earth played the role of the new kid on the block, human scientists had been working hard. Human ships shown to aliens were good but not amazing. The real ships, the best ships, stayed hidden in secret bases. The best weapons were never displayed. The most advanced medicine was kept from alien eyes. Hanbin opened a hidden panel in the wall and took out 3 glasses and a bottle of clear liquid. My grandfather made this soju. Real earth alcohol. Something most aliens can't even touch without getting sick. He poured 3 small glasses. To patience, he said, raising his glass. To the day we don't need to pretend anymore, Ji Young added. Taemin lifted his glass but looked troubled. Let's hope that day comes because we've earned trust, not because we've been pushed too far. They drank. The familiar burn of the alcohol, a small reminder of home. Later that night, Taemin couldn't sleep. He stood at the window of his room looking out at the stars. Earth was not visible from here, but he could see the direction where it would be. His personal computer chimed softly. A message from President Soo-jin Kang back on Earth. He opened it and read quickly. Taemin, the Council will vote on the Viridian proposals next week. Do whatever you can to soften them, but don't reveal our hand. Admiral Yoon reports our hidden fleet is now at full strength. Project Aegis is complete. If pushed, we can act from a position of strength, but I hope it doesn't come to that. Stay strong, stay patient, stay kind. For now. Taemin closed the message and looked back at the stars. Humans had a saying, speak softly and carry a big stick. For 50 years, humanity had spoken very softly indeed. The stick had grown bigger and bigger but remained hidden. He wondered how much longer the act could last. How much more unfairness humans would take before someone, maybe the hot-headed Hanbin, maybe some other human tired of being treated as a second-class species, finally showed the galaxy what Deathworlders could really do. Not yet, he whispered, to himself. Not yet. But in his heart, Taemin knew the day was coming when humanity would stop being nice. And when that day came, the galaxy would never be the same. 3 days after the council meeting, Taemin was reading reports in his office when Ji Young burst through the door. Her face was white, and her hands shook. What's wrong? Taemin asked, standing up quickly. Armistice Station, Ji Young said, her voice breaking. The Viridians attacked it. They're calling it a quarantine action, due to a made-up disease threat. Taemin felt his heart stop for a moment. Armistice Station was humanity's first major home in space beyond Earth's solar system. It orbited a planet near Proxima Centauri, the star closest to Earth's sun. 5,000 humans lived there, scientists, workers, and their families. How bad? He asked, his calm voice hiding his fear. Ji Young could barely speak. Almost 1,000 dead. They hit the family housing areas first. Children, Taemin. They killed children. Taemin's diplomat mask slipped. For the first time in 15 years, he let his true feelings show. Rage flashed across his face and his hands gripped the desk so hard the metal bent. Get Hanbin, he said quietly, and call Earth. I need to speak to the president, now. While Ji Young made the calls, Taemin stared out the window at the stars. For years, humans had played nice. They had followed rules that held them back. They had smiled while being insulted. They had bent low while standing tall would have been easier, all to avoid war, all to find a peaceful place among the stars. And now this. Hanbin arrived first, his face grim. I've heard, he said. What are your orders? No orders yet, Taemin replied. We wait to hear from Earth. The call from President Soo-jin came an hour later. Her face appeared on the large screen looking tired and angry. Commander Kim, she said formally, though they had known each other for years. The attack on Armistice Station is confirmed. The Viridians claim they found a dangerous human disease that might spread to their worlds. Our scientists say this is impossible. There was no disease. What does Earth want me to do? Taemin asked. The president looked at him for a long moment. The United Earth government has voted. The time for playing nice is over. Those simple words sent a chill down Taemin's spine. For 50 years, humanity had hidden its true strength. For 50 years, they had played the role of the peaceful newcomer. Now that mask would come off. You are authorized to reveal Military Package 3, the president continued. Show them what humanity really is. Show them what a Deathworld species can do when pushed too far. Military Package 3. Taman knew what that meant. It was the third level of military secrets that humans had kept hidden. Not everything. Not the most advanced weapons or ships, but enough to shock the galaxy. And the Viridians? Taman asked. We demand justice, President Sujin said. Those who ordered the attack must face punishment. We want payment for the lives lost. And we want the restrictive rules against humans ended now. After the call ended, Taemin, Ji-young, and Hanbin sat in silence for several minutes. So it begins. Hanbin finally said, not with a whisper but with a bang. Ji-young added, quoting an old Earth saying. Taemin looked at them both. We need to call for an emergency council meeting, and we need to prepare our presentation. Over the next day, they worked without sleep. Ji-young gathered scientific data showing what humans could really do, how strong they were, how much pain they could take, how quickly they healed. Hanbin prepared military information that had been kept secret for decades, and Taemin practiced a very different kind of speech than he had ever given before. When the emergency council meeting began, it was the Viridians who had called it. Supreme Commander Vrak stood tall, his thin body wrapped in a formal military coat. The council has been called because Earth is making threats, he said. After our necessary security action at Proxima Centauri, the Deathworlders are showing their true violent nature. Taemin waited for his turn to speak. When it came, he walked to the center of the room slowly. The aliens noticed something different right away. He was not wearing his usual simple clothes. Instead, he wore a full military uniform of deep blue, with gold trim. Medals and awards covered his chest, honors he had always kept hidden before. The Viridian Empire, Taemin said, his voice no longer soft and friendly, has committed an act of war against humanity. The room erupted in shocked whispers. Taemin had never spoken this way before. For 50 years, he continued, humanity has been patient. We have been kind. We have accepted rules that limit us. We have hidden our true strength to make others comfortable. He looked directly at Vrax, who stepped back slightly. That ends today. Taemin nodded to Ji-young, who pressed a button. The lights in the room dimmed, and big screens appeared in the air around them. They showed videos from Earth, humans climbing mountains without special gear, diving deep into oceans, running for days without rest, surviving in frozen lands and burning deserts. You call us Deathworlders, Taemin said. You think it's an insult, but you don't understand what it really means. Another screen showed a human soldier continuing to fight after being badly hurt, a doctor working for 30 hours straight to save lives, a mother lifting a crashed vehicle to save her child. The average human civilian can survive conditions that would kill your best soldiers, Hanbin added, stepping forward. Our children learn to handle pain your species cannot imagine. Ji-young touched another control, and new images appeared. These showed human technology, ships faster than any the Council had seen, weapons more powerful than they knew humans had, medical tools that could heal injuries thought to be fatal. We have hidden these advances out of respect, Ji-young said. Our weapons technology passed what you know about 3 years ago. Our medical science could change healthcare across the galaxy. Our ships can go places yours cannot. The council members looked shocked. Some seemed afraid. Even Vrax had lost his confident look. We demand the following, Taemin said clearly. Those who ordered the attack on Armistice must be turned over for justice. The Viridian Empire must pay for the lives lost, 1 billion credits for each human killed. And all restrictive rules against humans must end immediately. Or what? Vrax asked, trying to sound brave. Taemin smiled, but it was not his usual, friendly smile. It was the smile of a predator, or you will learn exactly what happens when Deathworlders stop being nice. The council room was silent. For the first time, they were seeing the real face of humanity, not the gentle giants who had walked carefully among them for 50 years, but the survivors of a world that had shaped them into something powerful and dangerous. As Taemin walked back to his seat, he knew there was no going back. The mask had fallen. The truth was out. Whether it led to peace or war would depend on what happened next. But one thing was certain. The galaxy would never see humans the same way again. The council chamber stayed quiet for a long time after Taimin finished speaking. The alien representatives looked at each other with worry. Some were typing fast messages to their home worlds. Others were simply staring at the humans with new eyes. Counselor Ziv was the first to break the silence. Commander Kim, these revelations are quite shocking. You have hidden much from the council. Taimin nodded. Just as the council has hidden much from us. We know about the secret meetings, about how to control humans. We know about the plans to limit our growth. Supreme Commander Vrax of the Viridians stood up quickly. This is outrageous. The Deathworlders are threatening us. They admit to lying and hiding things, yet they make demands? Hanbin stepped forward. He was shorter than Taimin but wider, with strong shoulders and hands that could bend metal. We hid our strength to make you comfortable. We kept our best ships at home so you wouldn't fear us. We spoke softly and followed your unfair rules. And how did you repay us? By killing our people? The screens around the room changed again. Now they showed the attack on Armistice Station. The Viridian ships had fired without warning. The human station had shields, but they were the weaker kind that humans showed to aliens. They failed quickly. Then came pictures of the dead, men, women, and children who had been living peaceful lives on the station. Many council members looked away. Some made sounds of sadness or shock. Even a few Viridians seemed upset. The Viridian Empire claims there was a disease risk, Vrax insisted, but his voice was weaker now. We had to protect our people. Ji Young laughed, but it was not a happy sound. There was no disease. Your scientists know that. Human biology cannot infect Viridians. Our cells are too different. This was not protection. It was an attack to keep humans in their place. A new alien spoke up, one of the Kralik, a species known for being fair and honest. If what Earth says is true, this is indeed very serious. But how do we know these videos are real? How do we know humans are as strong as they claim? Taimin looked at Hanbin and nodded. Hanbin walked to the center of the room. There was a decorative stone pillar there, made from the hardest rock from the Kralik homeworld. It was a symbol of strength and was so hard that most species could barely scratch it. Hanbin took off his uniform jacket. Under it, his arms showed muscles that most humans had, but that seemed amazing to the aliens. Without saying a word, he hit the pillar with his fist. The stone cracked. Not just a small crack, a deep break that ran from top to bottom. The room gasped. The Kralik representative's eyes went wide. That was with restraint, Hanbin said quietly. I didn't want to break your symbol completely. Ji Young took over next. You think we're dangerous because we're strong, but strength is just the beginning. She touched her control pad again, and new images appeared. They showed human brain, scans, medical data, and scientific achievements. Humans can learn faster than any species in the council. We can adapt to new situations in days that take others years. Our minds can solve problems in new ways. And most importantly, we never, ever give up. The screens now showed humans throughout history facing terrible challenges. Wars, disasters, plagues, and always fighting back, always surviving. You fear us because we come from a death world, Ji Young continued. But you don't understand. What that really means. It means we evolved on a planet that tried to kill us every day. It means only the smartest, strongest, and most determined humans survived. It means we don't know how to quit. Taimin walked back to the center of the room. For 50 years we have tried to be good neighbors. We have been patient. We have been kind. We have been understanding. That patience has reached its limit. He looked around the room, meeting the eyes of each council member. We do not want war. We have never wanted war. What we want is respect and fair treatment. Vrax laughed. And if we don't give it? Will you attack us like the violent Deathworlders you truly are? Taimin smiled slightly. No. We will simply stop holding back. At that moment, A Viridian aide rushed into the room and whispered something to Vrax. The Supreme Commander's face changed from confident to shocked. He looked at Taemin with new fear. "What have you done?" Vrax asked. "What do you mean?" Taemin asked innocently. "Our border fleet, they report human ships have appeared from nowhere. Ships we've never seen before. Bigger than anything in our records. They've disabled our weapons systems without firing a shot." Now it was Taemin's turn to look surprised, though it was clearly an act. "Oh, that's just a small part of Earth's real fleet. The ships we've been keeping hidden, they're just making sure you take our demands seriously." The council erupted in chaos. Some members were angry, others afraid. A few seemed impressed. "Order!" shouted the council leader, an older alien from a species known for wisdom. "This situation has clearly moved beyond simple diplomacy. Commander Kim, what exactly does Earth want?" Taemin took a deep breath. "Justice for our dead, the end of all special rules that limit humans, equal treatment in the galaxy, and a new relationship based on mutual respect, not fear and control." "And if we agree to this?" the council leader asked. "Then we share," Ji Young said, stepping forward again. "The medical technology we've kept hidden could extend the lives of every species here. Our energy systems could end resource wars. Our terraforming methods could make dead worlds live again." "And if we refuse?" Vrax asked, though he already seemed to know the answer. Han Bin smiled. It was not a friendly smile. "Then every civilization will remember this as the day the Deathworlders stopped being nice." The room was quiet again. The choice before the council was clear. They could accept humans as equals and benefit from their strength and knowledge, or they could keep fighting and learn exactly what a species from a death world could do when pushed too far. Taemin looked at his friends. For 50 years, humans had played a part, the part of the grateful newcomer, the gentle giant, the patient student. That role was over now. Whatever happened next, the galaxy would know the truth about humanity. And deep inside, Taemin felt something he hadn't felt in a long time. Pride. Pride in what humans had achieved. Pride in who they really were. Pride in no longer having to pretend to be less than they were. The mask had fallen. The Deathworlders had revealed themselves. And nothing in the galaxy would ever be the same. The council meeting ended without a clear decision. The alien representatives needed to talk to their homeworlds. They needed time to think about what humans had shown them. Taemin gave them 24 hours to respond to Earth's demands. Back at the Earth Embassy, Taemin, Ji Young, and Han Bin waited. Messages flew back and forth between the embassy and Earth. President Sujin sent new orders and information. The waiting was hard. "Do you think they'll agree?" Ji Young asked, looking out at the stars. Taemin sighed. "Some will. The smart ones. But the Viridians, I don't think Vrax will back down. His pride won't let him." Han Bin checked his computer. "Our hidden ships are in position near all major Viridian worlds. If they try anything, we'll know." They didn't have to wait long to find out. Just 6 hours later, Vrax made his choice. The Viridian Empire sent a message to all council worlds. It was not what Taemin had hoped for. "The Viridian Empire rejects the outrageous demands of the humans," Vrax's message said. "We will not be threatened by Deathworlders. We have ordered our full battle fleet to human space. The humans will learn their place." President Sujin called immediately after the message went out. "You've seen it?" she asked Taemin. "Yes, madam." "President, they're making a big mistake." The president nodded. "Begin Operation Clear Sky, no deaths if possible. Show them what we can do, but be careful." Operation Clear Sky began just 2 hours later. The Viridians had sent their main battle fleet toward Earth. Over 300 warships, the pride of their empire. They expected to face the small human fleet that everyone knew about, the weak ships that humans had shown to the galaxy. They were wrong. Hidden human ships appeared all around the Viridian fleet. These were not the simple vessels aliens had seen before. These were Earth's real ships, bigger, faster, with technology no one knew humans had. Admiral Yoon led the operation from his flagship, the EDF Everest. "All ships," he ordered, Disable their weapons and engines. No destruction unless fired upon. Remember, we want to teach them a lesson, not start a war. What happened next was recorded and sent to every world in the galaxy. The human ships fired strange blue beams that didn't damage the Viridian ships, but made all their systems stop working. In less than 10 minutes, the entire Viridian battle fleet was floating helpless in space. Not a single ship was destroyed. Not one Viridian died, but their mighty fleet, which they had been so proud of, was now useless. At the same time, other human ships appeared at every major Viridian military base. The same thing happened there. Weapons disabled, communications cut, but no deaths. It was a perfect demonstration of power with restraint. On the council station, Tae-min received the news with a mix of relief and pride. He immediately called for another emergency council meeting. This time, when he entered the council chamber, the mood was very different. The aliens looked at him with new respect, and in some cases, fear. Supreme Commander Vrax was there too, but his usual confidence was gone. He looked pale and shaken. "Members of the council," Tae-min said, "as you have no doubt heard, the Viridian Empire rejected our peaceful offer and sent their fleet to attack Earth." He touched a control, and videos appeared showing what had happened. The council watched, in amazement as the mighty Viridian fleet was disabled so easily. "We could have destroyed them," Tae-min said simply. "We chose not to. Not one Viridian life was lost. This is who humans really are. We have the power to hurt. But we prefer to solve problems without death when possible." Vrax stood up, shaking with anger or fear or both. This is an act of war. You have attacked our ships." Hanbin laughed. "You sent your fleet to invade our space. We stopped them without killing anyone. If anyone started a war, it was you." The council leader raised a hand for quiet. "It seems clear that humans have been more restrained and more capable than we realized. Perhaps it is time to reconsider how we have treated them." One by one, most council members agreed. They would end the special rules that limited humans. They would treat Earth as a full and equal member of the galactic community. They would work together on shared problems. Only the Viridians still refused. "We will never bow to Deathworlders," Vrax said. "You may have disabled our fleet, but we have other ways to fight." Tae-min looked at him sadly. "This doesn't need to be a fight at all. We wanted peace from the beginning. We still do." But Vrax would not listen. He stormed out of the council chamber, his aides rushing after him. "What will he do?" Ji-young asked quietly. "Something desperate," Tae-min answered. "We need to be ready." They didn't have to wait long. Just hours later, reports came in that Vrax had ordered a special attack. Small, fast Viridian ships were heading toward Earth itself. They carried terrible weapons that could poison whole continents. "They're going to try to make Earth even more of a death world," Hanbin said, reading the reports. "They think they can poison our home." President Su-jin called an emergency meeting with her top advisors and Tae-min's team. "We need to stop those ships," she said, "but we also need to end this without becoming the monsters they think we are." Admiral Yoon had a plan. "We have a new system we've been testing," he explained. "It can create a space-time bubble around ships. Time passes much slower inside the bubble. We can trap the attack ships without destroying them." "Do it," the president ordered. The plan worked perfectly. The Viridian attack ships were caught in strange bubbles of bent space and time. Inside those bubbles, only seconds would pass while years went by outside. The Viridians inside were not harmed, but they were stopped completely. When news of this reached the council, even more aliens were amazed. Humans had technology that could control space and time itself, something thought impossible by most species. But the most impressive thing to the council was not the technology. It was that humans had once again chosen not to kill when they could have. They had stopped a deadly attack without becoming deadly themselves. Tae-min addressed the council one more time. "This is who we are," he said simply. "We come from a hard world that made us strong, but it also taught us the value of life. We know how fragile existence can be. We don't waste it if we don't have to." The council voted unanimously With only the Viridian seat empty, the rules against humans would end. Earth would be a full and equal member of the galactic community, and there would be a special investigation into the attack on Armistice Station. As Taemin left the council chamber, many aliens stopped him to talk. Some apologized for how humans had been treated. Others wanted to learn more about Earth. A few even asked if they could visit the famous Deathworld with proper protection. Things will be different now, Ji-young said as they walked back to the embassy. Taemin nodded. Yes, but the hard part is just beginning. Now we have to prove that we deserve their trust, that we can be both strong and good. Hanbin grinned. I think we're off to a good start. 3 weeks passed since what many now called the Deathworlder Declaration. The galaxy had changed in ways no one could have predicted before humans revealed their true strength. The biggest change was where the Council now met. For the first time in 500 years, the Galactic Council was not meeting on its space station. Instead, they gathered on Earth itself, in a new building in Seoul. Taemin stood at the window of the new council hall, looking out at the city. Tall buildings reached for the sky. Green parks dotted the urban landscape. And most amazing to the alien visitors, people were everywhere. Millions of humans living together in one city, something most aliens could not imagine. They're arriving, Ji-young said, joining him at the window. Outside, special shuttles were landing, bringing council representatives to Earth. Each shuttle had systems to keep the aliens comfortable in Earth's gravity and atmosphere. The building itself had different sections with air, temperature, and gravity set for each species' needs. Are you nervous? Ji-young asked. Taemin smiled. A little. This is what we worked for all these years, to bring the galaxy to Earth as equals, not as masters and servants. Hanbin joined them wearing a formal military uniform. The security systems are ready. Every alien has a special guide to help them if they have problems. Medical teams are on standby in case anyone gets sick. The three friends watched as aliens from 27 worlds entered the building. Some moved on many legs. Others floated above the ground. Some were tiny, smaller than a human child. Others were huge, towering over even the tallest humans. All were seeing Earth for the first time. President Soo-jin met them in the main hall. She was a small woman but stood straight and proud. Welcome to Earth, she said. We are honored to host the council on our world. The aliens looked around with wide eyes. They had heard so much about the famous Deathworld, but seeing it was different. Through their protective suits and systems, they could sense Earth's stronger gravity, its rich oxygen atmosphere, its incredible variety of life. It is we who are honored, said the council leader. For too long, we let fear keep us from truly knowing our human friends. Today begins a new chapter in galactic history. The council meeting that followed was unlike any before. Instead of arguing about limits and rules, they talked about working together. Humans offered to share medical technology that could help heal injuries faster. They showed designs for new energy systems that would work better than what most worlds used. They even offered to help terraform harsh planets to make them more livable. In return, aliens shared their own knowledge, art forms humans had never imagined, ways of thinking that were different from human minds, and ancient histories from worlds that were old when Earth was young. During a break in the meeting, Taemin found himself talking to a group of young aliens who were visiting Earth as students. They had so many questions. Is it true humans can break rocks with their hands? Asked one small blue alien. Some can, Taemin said with a smile, but we prefer to use tools when possible, just like you. Why did you hide your strength for so long? Asked another. Taemin thought before answering. We wanted to be accepted for who we are, not feared for what we can do. Sometimes it's hard to make friends when people are afraid of you. The young aliens nodded. They seemed to understand. Later that day, something unexpected happened. A Viridian ship requested permission to land on Earth. Since the confrontation, the Viridians had kept to themselves, refusing to talk to humans or attend council meetings. It's Supreme Commander Vrax himself, Hanbin reported, Checking the message. He wants to speak to us privately. Tae-min, Ji-young, and President Su-jin met the Viridian leader in a small room away from the main council hall. Vrax looked different, thinner, older, his usual confidence gone. "I have come to offer the surrender of the Viridian Empire," he said without greeting. "Our people have removed me from power. I am here only to complete this final task." President Su-jin shook her head. "We don't want your surrender, Commander Vrax. We never did. We wanted respect and fair treatment. But after what we did, after Armistice Station..." Vrax seemed confused. "We want justice for those who died," Tae-min said. "We want those directly responsible to face judgment. But we don't want to destroy your people or your worlds." Ji-young stepped forward. "In fact, we have a proposal. Earth's medical teams have developed treatments that could help Viridians with their bone and immune system problems. We would like to offer this help freely, as a first step toward a new relationship." Vrax looked stunned. "You would help us? After everything?" "That's what humans do," President Su-jin said simply. "We can be dangerous when threatened, but we prefer to build rather than destroy." The news of this meeting spread quickly through the council. Many aliens were surprised. They had expected humans to seek revenge on the Viridians. Instead, they offered help. It changed how many species viewed humans. The last day of the council meeting was special. Earth had prepared demonstrations of human culture, music, dance, food, specially made to be safe for alien digestion, and art. Aliens shared their own cultural treasures. It was a true exchange between different peoples finding common ground. As the event ended, Tae-min found himself standing with Ji-young and Hanbin, watching aliens and humans talking together like old friends. "Did you ever think we'd see this day?" Ji-young asked. Tae-min shook his head. "I hoped, but I wasn't sure. The path could have gone very differently." Hanbin looked thoughtful. "You know, they still call us Deathworlders, but the way they say it has changed. Now it sounds almost like respect." "What happens next?" Ji-young wondered. Tae-min smiled as he watched a group of human children carefully showing alien visitors how to fly kites in the park outside. "We build something new," he said. "Humans have always been good at that, taking challenges and turning them into opportunities. We take our strength and use it to protect, not threaten. We take our technology and use it to help, not harm." President Su-jin joined them. "The council has voted to create joint exploration teams, humans and aliens working together to explore unknown parts of the galaxy. They want humans along because we can survive conditions others can't. They're calling it the Deathworlder Advantage." Hanbin laughed. "From insult to job qualification in just a few weeks." As the sun set over Seoul, lighting the sky in beautiful colors, humans and aliens stood together looking up at the stars. The galaxy had changed forever. The day the Deathworlders stopped being nice had become the day a true galactic community began. And every civilization would remember it as the beginning of a new age of cooperation, not conflict. An age where being different was seen as valuable, not fearful. An age where even those from the harshest worlds could find friendship among the stars.